2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Friday at 420. My name is Mike Nabuurs, your host for the next 40 minutes. So sit back, tilt your screen so it's just appropriate. You can get just the right look that you want, and by that I mean tilt it far enough away that you can't really see us, and just listen to how awesome we are. We are going to have ourselves a good time on this show today. We got a very special episode for you, so I don't want to waste a lot of time with a lot of jibber jabber. Let's get right to it. Let's introduce our panel as we always do. First and foremost, my personal mentor and life coach now, Patrick Coppolino.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Patrick. How are you?
All right, I'm good.
That's good.
Have you been, I'm your life coach now? You've been doing a lot of nothing lately?
Yes. Yes. And exceedingly well, Patrick.
Right? Ignore all your responsibilities.
Yes. I said the point when I first engaged Patrick as my life coach, his first piece of advice was, Patrick, you remember this, his first piece of advice was, get yourself one of them Twitch accounts. So I'm not sure if it's improved my life at all, but I'm thinking of getting one. Is that you know what? I would like you to teach me to play poker. You're pretty good at poker.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Play some poker.
Yeah, I'd play a little poker. I want to I want to understand why you're actually pretty good at it.
The guy I work for, that's Jamie Staples. He's the one I edit his highlight videos.
Right.
He just entered a WPT. Just did a huge tournament on party poker, and he played. It was a $500 buy-in. He won $75,000.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was the most he's won so far. Like
That's
in one
pretty
tournament.
cool. Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that. All right, we definitely going to have to do that. That'll be next step 2 of Patrick's life coach responsibilities with me is teach me how to play poker better. Let's move on. Our panel consists of, as usual, he's everyone's good friend. I've never met anybody who knows him who doesn't consider him their good friend. Manolis Zontanos.
Hey, buddy. How you doing, Mike?
Fantastic there, Manolis. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really happy to be here right now. I'm happy to be anywhere, to tell you the truth.
It's this is the highlight because you've pointed out to us before. This is the highlight of your week.
Yeah, I don't really do anything anymore. And so, like, the only time I get, like, 40 minutes of conversations with you guys, and I'm not doing 40 minutes of talking either. So it's, like, a lot of listening. And when I talk to people, I find myself realizing that my brain's not as smart as it wasn't smart to begin with, but it's harder to put words together, I find. I'm not talking enough.
No, you're not talking them. You're not getting enough practice.
Right.
You know what? This is a special episode because obviously you have a guest sitting beside you, yes. And it's my pleasure to get a chance to introduce to the world the smarter of the Zontanos brothers, Peter Zontanos.
Hello,
Peter. How are you, man?
I'm good, and you guys?
I'm good. Patrick's probably just okay. I'll answer for you, Patrick, if you don't mind. Peter, so first and foremost, the first question I have to ask you is how the hell did Manolis convince you to do this show with us?
He just asked. I showed up. I was dropping off food for my mom.
You're a good man for hanging out with us. We appreciate that. Tell me a little bit. Everybody who watches this show primarily watches because of Manolis. Everybody's Manolis's friend. Patrick and I are just hangers on. So, talk to me a little bit about Manolis as a brother. Is he A1? Is he? He could be better. Give me a sense of Manolis as a brother.
He is A1. He's pretty good. If I ask him something, he helps.
He helps, and that's it.
Helps the best way he could.
Yeah, as best as his abilities. Peter, are you are you the older brother or the younger brother?
I'm 10 months older.
10 months older. Wow.
Yeah, so Irish twins or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
That's funny. And what do you do for a living, Peter? What do you do for a living?
I work at Ford in Oakville.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Excellent. You've been there a long time?
I've been there for 23 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Excellent. I went, my dad actually worked for a Ford dealership up in Richmond Hill when I was a kid. And one of the things they did as a team building exercise was they took all of the mechanics and the office staff of this Ford dealership, and they took them on a tour of the Ford plant. And now this was back in the, I'm going to say late 70s. And as a kid, that place blew me away, man. I mean, it is a pretty amazing facility if you ever get a chance to go inside, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the up until 89. No, when I started around 97, it was the biggest plant in North America for one vehicle. So it's huge. It's like a little city.
Yeah, yeah.
And one side of the plant, if you use your cell phone, you're calling Mississauga, and the other side is Oakville. That's how big it is.
It's got its own zip code. That's awesome. Well, that's good. Well, we are very glad to have you here and be part of the show. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to watch the show, Peter. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
My kids would play it to watch their uncle.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So we're kind of like a kid's show. That's good. Well, as long as we're entertaining somebody. I have 12 random 12 envelopes with 12 random topics. That's how we play the game here. I'm just going to pull out a random topic. We've got some stories we want to share. I know Manolis has shared plenty of stories about you, Peter, on the show, and we do want to get some clarification as to whether Manolis was fully telling the truth or not. But before we get to that, let's get to our first topic. Oh, look at this. It's an interesting one, considering who's on the show today. I want to know what each of you think is the best birth position. And by that, I don't mean what position to be born in. I mean, is it to be the oldest, to be the middle, or to be the baby? What do you think, whether from personal experience or just from witnessing the world, what do you think is the best place to be born in? Peter, I'm going to start with you. As an oldest to an oldest, what do you think is the best birth position?
Probably the oldest.
Yeah?
The oldest. Yeah.
You think you sort of had a better deal than Manolis growing up?
Oh, yeah. He's mommy's baby.
Oh, okay. Would you then would you have been maybe closer to your dad than your mom?
No, I was close to both, but
Okay.
I never got hovered over or watched, so I was left alone. I was more like a middle child, just ignored.
Just ignore it. Which
So maybe,
the funny.
maybe the middle child's the most important.
Okay. I was going to say, you seem to think that oldest is best because you're ignored. That might be the middle child position, but we'll go with Manolis now, since your name was dragged into this already. Manolis, best birth position. Do you think it's the position you had as the baby, or do you think there's another one that's better?
Oh God, for sure the youngest. Well, with two anyways, because with my brother, I think it matters about who your brother, the oldest person is. My brother he's a really smart person, so he moaned, but he was really into reading and really into finding he'd find all these crazy cool movies that I would never think about trying to find. We'd go to movies, and it was I think you couldn't. Yeah, I think you had to be with an adult, so we'd sneak in. But we saw Jacob's Ladder in the theater. I don't know if you've heard of that movie. It was about a guy about some guy that came back from Vietnam and is having flashbacks, and they put drugs into him, and it was so it freaked me out. But I was I would have never thought to seen this movie if if he wasn't my brother. And he was the original fucking. He was on the internet before, when you had to plug your computer into the phone jack,
Yeah, dial-up service.
And he was on the internet, and I'd be because back then I'm what a fucking loser. But he was so fucking ahead of the curve. Then I look back, I'm the guy was a fucking genius, because because back then I'm who the fuck are you talking to? I swear to God, when I was I don't know, how old were we, 14? 14, 15. My brother's on the internet. I'm I thought my brother was talking to. This is how stupid I was, right? I'm oh, he's talking to people in space. I don't know.
It seemed like it.
It seemed but I thought somehow he was talking to aliens. I don't know what the fuck I thought. I was so stupid to think how is he even talking? No one's in space. Why do I think he's talking to someone in space? But I'm so stupid. He's talking to people. I'm this old Greek man. He's talking to fucking people in space. Let's go. But yeah, my brother did all the fucking research for cool shit that I would have never thought of checking out. So
And so
younger
then,
is the better.
and then you just benefited from that, right?
Oh yeah, he did all the legwork. It's like that's why I'm friends with Patrick. I mean, if I have any problems with the internet or computers too, like I'm like Patrick. Like he's like my. I don't think of him as a human being. I think of him as like a computer with skin on him.
Professional IT guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I don't even know where to go with that. So it appears to me that in order to be important in Manolis's life, you have to understand technology.
Well, I mean, and you just have to be smarter than me. So therefore, that's why you seem like it's like everybody's Manolis's friend because everybody's smarter than me, man.
Yes. Okay. So we got one for baby. We got one for oldest, but maybe middling. Patrick Coppolino, you are a baby as well, right?
Yeah, I'm the youngest. So and it's just the two of us. So from my experience, I think the youngest is best because like when it comes down to people, my sister's a better person than me. Like she's always like just grown up and done the right thing and been the responsible one, but no matter how much I fail or screw up, I can do no wrong. Like at least in my mom's eyes, we've it's become so obvious because like my mom, like anything I accomplish or if there's like a newspaper article I'm in or something, like my mom started this scrapbook from when I was like a teenager, like anything I've ever done, and she like brags to her friends and shows her. She has like nothing for my sister, so like it got to the point where it became so obvious. We would like ask my mom in front of my sister if I'm her favorite child, and she can't even deny it convincingly. Like she tries to, but you can tell that I think just because I'm the baby, I'm her favorite.
You get kind of a free pass, man.
Yeah, I get away with a lot more.
It's funny because maybe a little bit of the answer to this question comes from just your own personal experience, because I'm the oldest and I think I would not want to be anything but the oldest. And my brother had a good ride. There's no question. But at the same time, I just felt like I got a whole lot of extra. I was the guy who broke the mold. I blazed the path, if you will. And I really liked being the guy out front trying everything first, and then he'd come along and do it better. So, which was okay with me. Peter, you have children. How many kids do you have, Peter?
I have two boys.
Two boys. And looking from a parent's perspective, which of them, the oldest or the youngest, gets the best? Do you think has the best position?
Probably the youngest.
Yeah, getting a little extra love, a little extra.
Yeah, attention.
A little extra attention, coddling. What are your boys' names?
Nathan and Jeremy.
Nathan and Jeremy. Okay, so Manolis didn't get a Manolis Jr., eh?
No, he's got to do that on his own.
Yeah.
He's been trying. Honestly,
If I had a kid, I wouldn't curse him. My name would just bring him bad luck.
Oh, come on, Manoli's an awesome name. All right, we'll move on to another topic, but first, let's share a story. And this story goes back to your past, Peter. I'm sure you're really happy that we're bringing it up. This is the story, and it's been told on the show before, the story of you and your brother having a sword fight. And there may have been some urination.
Those were yellow lightsabers.
Can you, Peter, just share with us your vision of what that story looked like? Because Manolis was disturbing.
Wow. Yeah, you peed on my leg. You turned around and peed on my leg.
You peed on my leg first.
No, you did to me.
Oh, see, here we go.
So we were playing the lifesaver game. Lightsaber game where like you just let your urine tracks cross each other. We did it all the time, to tell you. It started at the toilet.
Yeah,
Sure.
Ghostbusters wasn't out at that time. Crossing streams.
And then it just we were outside, and maybe I went first, but I thought he went first, and he nicked my foot. And what happened after that?
You attacked. Vader style.
What happened?
You peed on my leg.
And then I peed on his leg, and then
I forget.
you forgot we peed on each other's chests
Oh,
outside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did. Like full on. I vividly remember just standing there, just like going like the stream went up high and back down low, like
Nice
bait.
arc.
Yeah, arc. Like I wish I had that arc now. I'm like, It just dribbles down my knee. But it goes so high, and it's hitting my brother's chest, and he's hitting my chest. But we can't stop hitting each other because if I move out of the way, that I can't hit him anymore.
Right.
We just stand there, and like our eyes are just burning on each other. It's like full on eye contact, and we're like, "F you, fuck you," and it's like it's just, and then that was it, dude. And then we're like. And then it was like steam was. I remember steam coming off our chests. It was
the hot pee.
Hot day. And then we went inside the house, right, Pete?
Yeah.
And what did we have? We had a shower. Who threw us in the shower?
I forget.
Our dad.
But how old were you? 7, 8?
Were we 8?
Around
8 or 9? I guess that makes sense. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, listen, I'm just glad it wasn't 1819.
That would make the story amazing.
Yeah. So
2 weeks ago.
Peter, now just for the record, you are confirming that the sword pee fight did occur.
It did. And
Okay. And as usual, the oldest always wins, Peter.
I think he did win because I remember I cried first.
Oh, I'm sure. That's another story. You didn't even write me. Manolis sent me a couple of stories, but I just remembered one myself. All right, here we go. This is topic number. What topic? It's topic number 2. Of course it is. And this one for Patrick Coppolino to start. The rest of you can answer after Patrick. What is your favorite dog? And I'm going to give you 2 options here. You can tell me about the favorite dog you ever had or a favorite type of dog, whichever you wish. Patrick, go ahead and tell me your favorite dog. What do you think is the coolest dog there is?
Well, I don't know. Like I said before, I've never been much of a dog person, but I have 2 now because they came with Lindsay. So
Right.
I like those dogs. They're both little dogs, but they're, I don't know. I think if I was to get another dog one day, I'd want one of the, like a bigger one, like a lab or something.
Oh, a nice lab?
Yeah.
Black or golden?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
No.
I'm not racist with my dogs, Mike.
I you know what? It's not even a race thing. I was bitten by a black lab, so I lost half my hand to a black lab. So
Black labs matter, Mike.
I'm not a big fan of the black labs, but now you're getting me in trouble, so I'm going to walk away from this one. Manoli, best dog.
Littlest hobo. Whatever that dog is, the littlest husky.
Was
He's
it
a
a
husky,
husky
yeah.
or a German Shepherd?
some of the littlest hobo was the husky, I think.
Okay.
I remember it looked like a German Shepherd. I don't know what a husky is, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Husky's like the
Like it looks like a wolf. The huskies
Yeah.
to me look like the wolf with the blue eyes and the gray, right?
yeah.
Whatever.
Huskies
the
and
little
German Shepherds look similar.
I was watching with my dad, and he loved the littlest hobo. And then one day, the littlest hobo saved this guy from getting sick. Went to the grocery store and bought all this stuff with the guy's wallet. Like, yeah, went to the grocery store with a wallet in his mouth, and then brought items onto the counter. And then the guy's like, "Do you want me to pay for the food with the wallet?" And then little hobo's like, "Ruff, ruff." I'm like, which meant yes, I guess. And then he brought all the food back in his mouth because he doesn't have arms. He's just a fucking dog. And then gave it to the guy that was sick. And my dad looks at me, and I swear to God, in this room even, and he goes like this. He goes, "Huh? Like, why can't I be more like the dog?" Like, why? It's like, look at this dog. This dog can shop. What the fuck do you? I was 12. What do you want from me, man?
That is a beautiful story, Manolis.
Yeah.
I was thinking when you were telling that story about the episode of Littlest Hobo where the Littlest Hobo goes on the internet and talks to aliens. That was a great episode too. Peter, do you have a dog now? Do you have a dog?
Nope.
No. Have you ever had a dog?
Nope.
No, never had. Oh, wow. Okay.
He had a lot of pets, though.
Yeah, a lot of pets. But,
What kind of pets?
oh, lizards, fish, birds. About it.
Never a dog though.
Now?
Conure. Got a big, like a small parrot.
Oh, really?
It's
Is it a
fucking
talker?
asshole?
Is it a talk? Is it one that talks, that repeats words, or no?
It does, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's excellent.
It attacks. I go to his house and I have to like fall to the floor because it tries to eat my ears. Like, it attacks me. And he thinks it's hilarious.
and
the
it-
bird
and-
loves my brother.
And it also has a better vocabulary than you, Manolis.
Probably.
Peter, what if you were to get a dog? What's your favorite brand of dog?
I'd probably get a Chihuahua.
Oh, a little guy.
Little guy, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Call him Zeus.
give him a big name. Give
Yeah.
the little guy a big name. I like that. Manolis, you already answered that question, right? You wanted the littlest hobo.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, you haven't had a dog, Manolis.
No, I have not
Okay.
had a dog. I've been around a lot of dogs, but no.
Is growing up in George Zontanos' home, was that not going to be a place where you were going to have a dog? I mean, most people at some point experimented with a dog. Were your parents not real dog people, or?
No, not really. And then we got a cat later
Oh,
on. So
okay. You went the cat route.
yeah, but it was a funny cat. It was an alcoholic and had issues.
My dad, I don't know, my dad was bathing the cat way more than it needed to be bathed, right? Because
You're not supposed to bathe them at all.
No,
Well-
the cat liked to be bathed.
Oh,
He'd go in the
God.
shower.
he would take it in the tub and bathe it, and like literally bathe it, like gave it like a bath. And then one day, I swear to God, I came home. I don't know if you were you here?
I don't know.
I came home. I hear noise, and I hear my dad's in the tub. I go, "What are you doing?" Because and I look, and my dad's in the tub with the cat. My dad was taking a bath, and the cat was sitting between his knees, and he's like soaping it.
But the cat liked water.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
would swim in the water. It was a
it-
swimmer.
And it proves that it was an alcoholic, really.
That was different. You'd get attacked if you came in the house when it was drinking. My dad would make homemade wine, and you know how it bubbles out of the big glass thing?
Yeah.
So there'd be a whole bunch of a little bit of alcohol on the ground, and the cat would be walking by. He was white. You look at him, he's like pink, and then it would start. It was hammered.
Oh no.
Oh, that's fantastic, man. I love that story. The drunk cat. One other thing, before we continue, this is Friday at 4:20 with Manolis and Patrick and myself, Mike Neighbors, and our special guest is Peter Zontanos, Manolis's brother. And one of the things I did want to give you a chance, Peter, to just talk a little bit. Manolis has shared so many stories about your dad and about growing up in that house, and he's really built a comedy career off of your dad. And our condolences to you, Peter, and your extended family on the loss of George, because it was something we all went through with Manolis, and we know how hard it must have been and still is. It only happened recently. But I want you to just give you a chance, Peter, to talk a little bit about growing up in the house of George Zontanos. What was George like from your perspective?
Pretty much left us alone most of the time, unless we had chores. That's about it. But he'd pick on Manolo a little bit more. So.
Oh, really, eh? So him and Manoli, because Manoli also, I think, probably challenged him a little more. Oldest children tend to maybe toe the line a little better. And Manolis would be up in his grill. And would you think that was where some of that came from?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I would tend to have like more arguments with him at times. I think where my brother was more just like, my dad was like always like, well, look at your brother, he reads, like my brother used to read like a fucking fiend. He'd read probably 3-4 like novels in a week. Like he would like be broke because he ran out. He didn't have any more money for books. And he bought those books. There's like 800-page books, and he just like,
Actual books.
You think the fucking pages were cocaine? He just went through them like nothing.
Why such a voracious reader, Peter? What was it? You obviously really took to reading, and
Yeah, I just read a lot.
do you still?
No.
No.
It's amazing. I'm amazed that he doesn't. He's on the internet a lot still, but like he does. The fact that he doesn't read as like he did. Like I'm not kidding you. I used to just like be. My dad hated the fact that he read so much. Hated me for not reading because he thought like, look, your brother's educated. He's smart. I used to write little notes like every like 200 or 300 pages in his books. When you get a new book, and I'd be like, stop reading. You're a loser. Get a life. Remember that?
You're
He
causing
actually-
me grief.
I passed my brother. The only reason I passed grade 12 is because of my brother. I graduated only because of my brother, because I had to pass grade 12 English, and I was like, wasn't going to read the book, and I remember, it's so funny, I gave him a pair, I made a deal with him. I said, can you do this book report for me, or I'm going to fail high school? And he goes, what are you going to give me? And I gave him $60, right? $60 and a pair of black acid wash jeans. So he skimmed through the book, but mostly he did it through book report by reading the back. My brother read the back of the book, the write up.
Do the whole report.
He did the whole report. And my teacher goes, she was like, at first I thought you just read the back of the book. As I went on looking at your report, I realized that you read the book. Really well done, Manolis. And I'm like, thank you. Not even thinking, like, I didn't even read the answers. Like, she could have called me on anything. I'm like, you didn't read the fucking book. I graduated to go to like, I didn't need a high school diploma because I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? But
Right.
Not at the time.
but I graduated. He graduated for me. Like my diploma should be his.
Peter's got 2 now. He's
Yeah.
good to go. Yeah. This is Friday at 4:20. Our next topic is, let me see what's topic number 11. Topic number 11, and this one we'll go to you first, Manolis, on this one. If you owned a bar, what would it be called?
Oh, what would it be called?
If you owned a bar, what would it be called?
Oh man, something. Let me. Let's go.
You're not just going to call it Manolis.
Manolis.
Manolis. I mean,
call it
Manolis would be a really
Manolis
good
would
Manolis.
be cool.
Yeah. Manolis, and you could serve cannolis. That'd be
Manolis,
really
cannolis.
cool. Yeah, Manolis cannolis. I mean, how have you not gotten into that business yet?
I know.
I remember, like, I was thinking, like, This Ain't Hollywood was such a cool.
That's cool. That was a cool name.
Yeah, that was a cool name for a bar.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, what would be a cool name for a bar? I was like, anything to do with, like, maybe, like, women. Yeah. Maybe women. I was like that.
Don't say women and children.
Why not? That was a great Van Halen album. Women and Children First.
Terrible name for a bar.
I know. Or no, here's one. I know it. Here it is.
Okay.
Our
here
old
we go.
podcast. I thought that was a great name. That would be a great name for a bar. Girls Night Out.
Girls Night Out.
Girls
I
Girls
like it.
Night Out.
Girls Night
Girls
Out.
Night
That's a
Out.
good one. Okay.
That's a great name for a
That's
bar.
a really good answer. Peter, you've been given some time to think about this. Is there? What would you name a bar if you owned a bar?
Zanzibar.
Zanzibar. That would be a great name. Is there not a Zanzibar
Yeah,
in Toronto?
it's a strip club.
It's a strip club. Fantastic. Peter wins already. Patrick doesn't even have to answer.
Yeah.
Patrick, what are you naming a bar if you get to name a bar?
Levity Comedy Club and Lounge.
No, it's taken. By the way, is that place ever going to open again? I
Yes,
heard a rumor
actually,
on
I
the
got some-
streets.
I got some good news.
What's that?
I talked to the owners of Anchor Bar. They're opening up their patio this weekend, actually.
Yeah,
So
Friday
if you're
night
listening to
they
this
get
right now,
Yeah.
you can head there tonight. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Ford said they've allowed bars to stay open till 2 already. Like,
Yes, they're
off
going
the-
right
off the
away.
bat.
Right off
Wait,
the
we can
hop.
go Levity tonight?
Yes.
And
I
have a
thought you
beer
said it
until
opens
2
Friday.
a.m.
I said that.
It is Friday at 4:20, Manolis.
Oh, sorry.
It's totally not Tuesday at 5. But yes, starting this weekend, you can go to patios and have drinks till 2 a.m.
Okay.
So
and
until
Anchor Bar will be open. Its patio will be. It's got a cool patio there on top
Yeah.
of Jackson Square. Really cool spot.
Yeah,
So go
and
to
it's
Anchor
right
Bar.
connected to the Levity, and like that's how, because when our elevator was broken like last August to November, that was our entrance anyways. There's a huge Levity logo on the door there on the Anchor Bar patio. So until Levity opens, which probably won't be till later, like the beginning of fall, we're gonna do patio shows on the Anchor Bar patio. So that could be starting as soon as like end of June.
Excellent.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
That'd be very cool. Would you do the shows? The shows would be like kind of a once a week thing, or you don't know yet? Or?
Starting out, we'll do once a week. 'Cause
Okay.
it'll be too hard to book like more than that because it's weather permitting. So
Right.
but yeah, at least one big show a week.
Okay, so get out to Anchor Bar this weekend and enjoy the patio life. It is so good that it's back, and you can stay up until 2 a.m., which I haven't stayed up until 2 a.m. in a very long time. My preference on the weekend is to day drink and like pass out by 7.
Yeah,
that's what
you
I
were.
like.
You were
That's why you
getting
need
up.
drugs.
You were getting up at like 4 a.m. for work every day, weren't you? For the last.
Yes. I spent a lot of my life getting up really early, and so I shifted my patterns significantly because of that. Patrick, did you come up with a name, or are you sticking with levity? Is there another name? Patchco?
Something to do with Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, Gretzky's. In Toronto, we'll put it beside Second City.
All right, it's Friday at 4:20. We are here with our special guest, Peter Zontanos. And Peter, were you ever disappointed? I mean, particularly as a younger man, were you ever disappointed that Manolis got such a creative name and you just got Peter?
Nope.
No, that always worked for you. Did you ever think to yourself, "Wow, I can't believe they saddled my poor brother with that"?
No.
No,
because there was a bunch of Manolis in the family. There's 2 more.
Okay.
He's named after our dad's dad. His name Peter.
Okay.
Your grandfather.
But Peter in Greek is Petros, right?
Yeah.
So when you take Petros to English, it's Peter.
Right.
Manolis is just fucked.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel or Manoli or Manolaki or all these different versions of it. But when you put it to English, it's Manolis. And I'm named after my grandfather on my mom's side.
Oh, so it's both family names. That's very cool. I just, it just seems like, hey, this is my son Peter, and this is my son Manolis, and it's like, wow, holy mackerel, that's a.
But Peter's a Greek name, right? Because 2 of my cousins are Greek, and one of them's Peter. I know his dad named him that.
Yeah, it's a Greek name. Yes. 100%.
Yes. So another story now, this one from the past that Manolis has shared with us. Peter, I need your confirmation, yay or nay. You can tell it however you would like, but it is about Manolis laying out maxi pads on your bed.
Yep.
Yeah. So how exactly did that? You came home and your bed was.
Yeah. Well, prior to this, for about 2 weeks, where somebody got a free sample of maxi pads in the mail. And he thought it would be funny to start dropping it in a room, dropping it everywhere, and then it just escalated from there.
It escalated, and then one night he laid them all out, laid some of them out on a bed, and they stuck to your body after you laid down.
Yeah, after I was hammered, pretty much hungover.
That's true. By luck, he comes home drunk the night I decide to put him on his bed.
Oh, that's perfect.
It was six of them in a little bag, and they threw them in my. My dad was an idiot; didn't know what they were. He got them in the free sample in the mail, throws them in my room. So I thought it'd be funny just to put them in my brother's room, and then he threw them back in my room, and then that's when I started thinking.
And when Manolis started thinking, all bets are off, man.
I still have the scar right here. I don't know. See how close I can get to the camera. It's right there on my arm.
Oh, wow. What's the scar from?
Running into the door because I was going to kill him. He shut the door on me.
I went to sleep that night. I had to lock my door, so I locked it that night before I went to bed, not knowing he was coming home drunk. I laid out 6 maxi pads. I purposely put 2 pillows so far down the bed so the blanket wouldn't touch the maxi pads because I pulled the thing so all the stickers are up. So I'm like, my brother's going to see this pillow, these 2 pillows almost in the middle of the bed, and he's going to be like, oh, what the hell's this? And it's not going to work. But he comes home drunk. He pulls the blanket open. He lies down, sleeps for about a half an hour, and wakes up, turns on the light, and screams like, ah! There's 6 maxi pads stuck to his body. And then he comes to my room to fucking kill me. But in the process of running into my room, he runs into a door jam, and he starts... scar. He's got a scar, but it started bleeding, and he starts. My favorite part of this thing that he did, though, it blew my mind because the thinking made no sense to me. He wanted to get back on me, so he put a maxi pad on my door of my bedroom because it was locked, and started writing on the door in liquid paper
there was nothing else to write with.
There was nothing else to write with. He says. that I'm a fucking asshole. And he's like I think he was at the F part because I wish I would have took a picture of it. It was like I was at FU and I think he was working on the C. And my dad wakes up and he goes, "What are you doing? What is going on?" 4 a.m. 4 a.m. This door is right beside my dad's room. Right? He sees my brother all drunk, blood, fucking. There's a maxi pad on my door, and he's like, he goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he goes, my brother's trying to like, he put maxi pads on my brother, and my dad can't understand English well, and it's 4 in the morning, and just to, like he thinks he's gonna solve the argument because he thinks we're just arguing about something stupid. He goes, listen, don't worry about it. Listen, go back to bed. I did it.
He just took blame for it.
Yeah, not knowing what he was taking the blame for.
No.
He goes, I did it.
Awesome.
And
just go
my
to bed.
brother says, you did it. He goes, you. But why? He's so
When
drunk.
your dad wakes up with your fucking asshole on his door now.
This is Friday at 4:20. Manolis Zontanos, Peter Zontanos, our special guest, Patrick Coppolino, myself, Mike Neighbors. We only got a couple minutes left here, so I'm going to quickly squeeze. Manolis didn't let me know about this story, but I'd heard it before, and I do want to ask Peter your impressions of what eventually became Manolis's cover art for his album Girl Penis. And we know that is the dislodged eyeball that Manolis had as a kid. It was my recollection, Peter, that you had something to do with that.
No. According to him, I did, but no.
He to this day he will never take the blame for that.
Really? So just for our purposes here, what exactly happened? What occurred from your perspective that Manolis's eye got dislodged from its socket?
Well, allegedly, I hit him with a sponge ball on the eye. Like, you remember those little squishy
Yeah.
balls?
Yeah.
Allegedly,
And,
but I saw the air quotes.
Yeah, and then that's where he told my mom, and then I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, okay, you sure it's not a thyroid issue? Is that why you're going to the doctor?
Yeah, it's like he throws this underhand. He didn't whip it either. He just he threw it, and he goes Manolis. I go, what? And it just touched my eye. It watered for like 10 minutes, and I finally stopped watering. He goes, I go like this. I blink my eyes. I'm like, I'm okay now. My brother goes, oh my God. I go, I'm 12.
Peter's shaking his head. No.
It wasn't instant. It was the next day.
No, it was instant.
It
was
next
fucking
day.
instant. It was instant. That's why I know it was him. And he goes, oh my God. I go, what? He goes, look in the mirror. And it was a mirror. The mirror is still here in this basement over here. He goes, look in the mirror. I look, and my eye looked like it was ready to go fall out of my fucking socket. Like it looked like it should have been hanging by the wires. I'm like, what the fuck? And then we went upstairs and told our parents. And then next thing I know, I'm seeing this guy named Dr. McMillan for 4 years, and he put me on thyroid medication. And apparently I had a fucking thyroid problem. Like I'm like the whole time, like what? Yeah, but a ball hit my eye. It happened. So a sponge ball. So it's, the moment this ball touches my eyeball is the moment my thyroid goes, you know what? We got it, buddy. We'll take it from here.
Yeah.
We're going to protrude right before this ball touches your fucking eye.
But you must have had some sort of condition that it was so like easily popped out, right?
Well, whatever. I think I would have liked to see how my life would have turned out without getting that eye through my fucking ball in my eye and see how that. I was called Igor for 4 fucking years, for God's sakes. And I was in special ed.
Don't forget about Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, that's why we probably watched Toxic Avenger, because his eye was sticking out too. That was a good movie, actually. Mike, what are you gonna say?
So, well, no, I just for clarification purposes. So, Peter, you're saying yes, you threw a sponge ball at him, but that is not the reason that his eye became so horribly disfigured. It was actually a thyroid problem.
Yeah, and it wasn't also instantaneous.
Okay.
Supposedly it happened 2 days after his eye came out.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
Like, yeah, I was fucking there, dude. It was my eye.
So was he.
Yeah, he was there, and he threw the ball. And this is like, to this day, he's like, oh, I you know what? It happened a couple days later. I had nothing. Like if I stab you, Mike, with a knife, and then I leave you like dying on the ground 2 days later, I'm like, looks like someone. Maybe Mike just put a knife in his chest. I don't know. What? I didn't kill him.
Maybe he has an overactive thyroid.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, yeah. That would have been funnier if I said that.
Well, somebody's here to say it. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. All right. Listen, you know how fast that goes by, guys. That we're just about out of time. So normally at the end of the show, Peter, this is where we go with some closing thoughts. I'm going to ask you one more question, Peter.
Sure.
I want you just to make a comment, whatever that comment may be, about your brother Manolis, about his, particularly about his stand-up comedy, and is it something you would be able to do, or is that something that you go, my God, I'm kind of surprised that he can do the things he does standing on stage?
I am kind of surprised he can do it on stage. I wouldn't be able to do it in front of people.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, eh?
Yep.
That's awesome.
You just got to be funny now. Then you got it.
Yeah. Peter, you're an absolute pleasure to hang with. Thank you so much for doing this with us, and we appreciate you allowing us to put you on the spot a little bit. It was a lot of fun. And Manoli, what do you got to say to close this thing up?
Thank you for doing this, and I just want to say I actually I love my brother a lot, actually, and I do stand up, and a lot of people think I'm funny and maybe cool, but honestly, I don't think anybody's cooler than my brother, and I love him more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
So
Peter barely tolerates you, but that's very kind of you to say that.
I'm waiting to get his other eye.
Yeah.
And Patrick Coppolino, look at this. We can plug Levity almost.
Yeah, almost.
We already mentioned it, but worth mentioning again, as of tonight, the Anchor Bar patio is open for the weekend up until 2 a.m. Is that where I'm going to find you guys?
I'll be there.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very soon we hope to have news. So keep tuning in here to Facebook every Friday at 4:20. We will soon have news about the first stand-up comedy shows you'll be able to see in the city of Hamilton. It's going to happen at the Anchor Bar patio, courtesy of Levity. So I certainly look forward to announcing that. And that's coming soon, Patrick.
Yeah, very soon, like in the next couple weeks.
All right. Thank you so much, boys. I really appreciate it. That was a fun episode, and we really appreciate you for tuning in to Friday at 4:20 on Facebook Live every Friday at 4:20. And, of course, you can always go to any of the streaming services to check out previous episodes of the show. We would love for you to do that. Go and enjoy the mess that we make every Friday at 4:20. Until we get a chance to talk to you again in 7 days, have an awesome weekend.
Woo!